Hello, today I'm going to talk about how to install Tensorflow with GPU support on Ubuntu 17.10, this is the latest version of Ubuntu. First, you want to make sure that your video card is supported. So NVIDIA GeForce CUDA support GPU list, I think. So CUDA supported GPUs. So there is a list of products. You need to find your product to make sure that it's supported. So once you are sure your product is supported, you can go to a software and update. And make sure you're using here additional drivers. Make sure you're using the proprietary NVIDIA driver. If you're using the open source driver, make sure you select the proprietary driver, apply changes, and reboot your computer. So, okay, now TensorFlow install on Ubuntu. First, you need to install CUDA. So, if you look at documentation, CUDA Toolkit 9.0, this is the version you want. But if you go to the link, it's 9.1. So you need to go to legacy releases. Here you see the CUDA Toolkit 9.0. And obviously Linux architecture, Ubuntu 17.4, Debian local. And this is the file you need to download. So I already downloaded it, it's here. So this is the file. The installation instructions here, there are 4 lines. You just follow the instructions. There are 2 areas you need to pay attention to. The first row is perfect, just execute. The second row, there's a version placeholder. So what is the version? Control-Shift-V to paste. This version is actually 9-0-local. 9-0-local. This is the version. So 9-0-local. So the second row, you need to execute this row. Replace the version with the 9-0-local. The third row, obviously, you have done it probably 1,000 times in Ubuntu, yeah. Just update. The last row is missing version number. So sudo apt-get install CUDA -9-0. You do not want to miss this part because you don't want to install the latest version. You want version 9.0. So this is the CUDA installation. And you go back to the installation guide. There's post-installation instructions, I think. Post-installation actions here. You need to execute the first line of code, which is unfortunately is again 9.1. You should change this to 9.0. First row. Okay. Then there's another row, which is obviously I believe you're using the 64-bit of operating systems. So this row is broken up into 2 rows. So we need to Control-Shift-V, paste this part, and then paste the second part. This $sign is not shell prompt. This $sign actually is a part of the command, and you need to delete this 1 and replace it with 0. So version CUDA -9.0, always 0, not 1. So run this line of code again. So you're done with CUDA. Now, next step is CUDNN. You need to click on download and need to log in. So if you haven't created an account, you need to create an account. So your email address and password. And once you log in, you can start download. Agree to the terms, obviously. And the one you need is this part. Download CUDA 7.0.5 for CUDA 9.0. CUDNN for 9.0. Okay. And there are 3 files you need to download. All these 3: runtime library, developer library, and code samples and user guide for Ubuntu 16.04. So CUDNN version 7.05 for Ubuntu 16.04. After downloading all these 3 files, you should be able to see them in your download folder, and you just double-click to install them in the following order. The first, the library, runtime library. Second, the developer library. The third, the documentation. and samples. So double click, double click, double click. The runtime library, developer library, and then documentation. Okay, after you've finished installing COD and NN, you need to go to the original TensorFlow website. Yeah, and then you need to install this CUDA command line tools. This line of code again is missing the version number. So Control-Shift-V. Oops, I copied the carriage return. I think Control-T, Control-Shift, Control-Alt-T, Control-Shift-V, and you need to -9-0. So you need to append the version number. So that to get installed CUDA command line tools -9-0. So the original instruction is missing the version. After this line of code, you need to do this next line, which is very straightforward. Just do whatever is here. Control-Shift-V. Yeah. After that, you need to install TensorFlow. I use the native pip. So you need to install this. This line just runs smooth. Just execute this one. Install the pip3. Yeah. After that, installing TensorFlow is the last one. pip3 install TensorFlow GPU because you want GPU support. Also, remember you need to sudo. This line of code is missing the sudo super user. Control-Shift-V and install TensorFlow with GPU support for Python 3. Yeah, there's a sudo which is missing here. Okay, that's it. You don't have to do test or anything. So after the installation, you can just test your TensorFlow is installed successfully and with the GPU support, obviously. So I would navigate to my code folder, and there's a Jupyter Lab. You can Jupyter Lab, activate the Jupyter Lab. There's a project already called demo, and in this project, actually, these are the TensorFlow tests. You can Control-Enter to execute the code. See here the code: device CPU and device GPU, and it says GeForce GTX 750 Ti. So it's successfully installed. So that's the process of installing TensorFlow with the GPU support for Ubuntu. The official documentation, as you notice, there are multiple errors like omissions, the version numbers missing and stuff. So hope this one will help.